You know that feeling you get when you're scrolling through Instagram, you see another producer landing a major placement or getting some kind of record deal, and suddenly you feel like crap? Yeah, we need to talk about that. Look, I spent 2 years of my production journey absolutely paralyzed because I kept comparing myself to everyone else. Producers I mentor struggle with the exact same thing too. And today I'm going to show you exactly why this comparison trap is killing your progress, and more importantly, how to break free from it. So here's normally what happens. You're working on a track, you're feeling pretty good about it. You take a little break and open up social media, and then bam, some other producer just posted their new release, their new beat, their new track, their new placement, whatever. And it sounds insane. The drums are slapping, it's super polished, super loud. Everything yours isn't. And just like that, your motivation is gone. Now, this isn't you being insecure. This is actually your brain doing exactly what it's wired to do. We're actually hardwired to compare ourselves to others, kind of like as a survival mechanism. But the problem, your brain can't tell the difference between, okay, I need to be better than this person to survive, and I need to be better than this other producer who I've never met, is a complete stranger, lives on the other side of the world, and I have no idea what his experience level is. Here's the really messed up part. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. That producer who just dropped a crazy song or a beat, you didn't see the 47 versions that sounded terrible. You didn't see the 3 years of daily practice. You didn't see the mental breakdowns at 3 a.m. questioning if they should quit. You only see the final result. Number one, it paralyzes your creative decision making. When you're constantly measuring yourself against others, you stop trusting your own artistic instincts. Every sound choice now becomes a question of, man, is it as good as what this other person would have done? Instead of, do I actually like this? I see it all the time. Producers spend hours tweaking a snare just because they're trying to match another producer's sound when they should just be moving forward and leveling it and just finishing the track. Now, don't get me wrong, it is actually a great exercise to emulate or even copy the producers who you look up to, because it helps to train your ear to figure out, okay, how many sounds and what type of sounds make up the music that I love to listen to. This is actually one of the first things I teach the producers on my mentorship program, but you should not be in that phase forever, because you end up in this sort of like perfectionism death spiral where nothing is ever good enough because it's not as good as your hero's work. Number two, you're playing an unwinnable game. There will always be someone better than you. Always. Even the top producers in the world can name someone who they look up to. If your metric for success is to be as good as this other person, then you're just setting yourself up for permanent dissatisfaction. Plus, you're comparing yourself to people at completely different stages. That producer who's killing it, maybe they've been producing for 10 years already. Maybe they have formal music education. Maybe they can work on music full-time while you're juggling a day job. You might just be comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 47. Number 3, it kills your unique voice. This is the big one. When you're obsessed with what everyone else is doing, you end up creating derivative work. You're super focused on matching someone else's sounds that you don't ever develop your own. The producers who really break through, they're not trying to be the next Metro Boomin or the next Wheezy. They're trying to be the first version of themselves. Okay, so how do we actually fix this? Because I'm not going to tell you to just stop comparing yourself, like that's some helpful advice. Here's what actually works. Shift from comparison to inspiration. There's a huge difference between these two. Comparison makes you feel inadequate. Inspiration makes you curious. When you listen to a track you love, instead of thinking, oh man, I'll never be this good, just ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That's completely different energy. One shuts you down, the other opens you up. Compete with your past self, not with other producers. Literally, the only comparison that matters is, am I better than I was 6 weeks ago or 6 months ago? That's it. That's the game. I actually have all the producers that I mentor keep a bunch of folders from different points in their journey, just filled with beats from that particular time. And every few months we go back and listen to them. And you know what? The progress is insane. But if you're constantly looking at what everyone else is doing, you'll miss that entirely. Just understand that everyone's path is different. Some producers blow up in a year, some take 10 years, some never blow up, but actually make a comfortable living doing what they love. There's no right timeline. The moment you accept that your journey is yours alone, you free yourself from this constant anxiety. So let me actually give you some tactical, like proper advice that you can actually put to work today. Number one, curate your social media ruthlessly. If following certain producers makes you feel like crap, then don't follow them. Just unfollow them. It's not hate, it's just self-preservation. You can admire someone else's work without being exposed to it constantly. Your mental health is way more important than staying up to date with every other producer's release. Number 2, set personal benchmarks, not competitive ones. Instead of saying to yourself, I want to be good as producer X, try something like, I want to land 12 songs with 12 different artists over the course of this next year. Or something like, within the next 3 months, I want to figure out how to mix my low end and kind of fix that muddiness. These are goals you can actually control and measure. And number 3, limit your consumption. Stop watching 47 producer breakdown videos per day. Stop scrolling through producer forums or TikToks. Spend that time making music instead. I swear the producers that actually succeed spend more time in a DAW than on social media. Even the ones that do post content regularly, they don't spend that much time doing it. They actually spend more time on the product, the music. And number 4, celebrate other people's wins. Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive to the last point, but when you genuinely celebrate someone else's success, you kind of bypass your brain and take the power away from yourself of getting jealous. Just try it. When you see another producer or artist doing well, leave a genuine comment, share their work. It really shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Now, here's what I wish someone would have told me when I started. The producers you admire, they're not your competition. They're not even in the same game as you. You're not competing for a finite number of successful producer spots. Music isn't a zero-sum game. If someone else is succeeding, it doesn't mean there's less success spots available for you. In fact, a rising tide actually lifts all boats. The more great music exists, the more people listen to music, the more opportunities there are for everyone. But here's the catch. You'll never get there if you spend all your energy worrying about what everyone else is doing. The work is in your door. The work is in practice. The work is finishing your tracks even when they're not perfect. That's where the progress happens, not on Instagram, not on TikTok, not on Reddit, in the studio. Now look, I get it, comparison is hard to avoid. We're all human living in a hyper-connected world where everyone's broadcasting their wins constantly, but you do have to protect your creative space. The moment you stop measuring yourself against others and really just start focusing on your own growth, that's when things start to click. That's when you actually start making progress. So here's your homework. For the next 7 days, don't look at any other producers' social media. None. Just make music. Just see how it feels, man. Honestly, I think you'll be surprised. If you're a music producer who needs help with their journey, then I work with producers one-to-one to help reach their goals in music. Feel free to reach out through the link below if you'd like that for yourself too. Now get off YouTube and go and make something.